YouTube. How's everybody today? Hope your week's going well so far. Start off with, I'm going to apologize. They are doing construction on one of the units in my building, and occasionally I can hear them using power tools. But it's been quiet for a few minutes. I'm hoping the super maybe went on a lunch break or something so I can get this video recorded. Then again, maybe not because I just heard it. Okay, so if you are new to my channel, on Tuesdays, I try to do a video called Top Tuesdays. Now, I had this top flagged from Crystal over at Bag O Day. Oh, goodness. For a good length of time, I'm going to say well over a year, I've had this top flagged. Thinking, I still want to make it. I love chevron patterns. And I thought, I want to make this so bad. And I made a blanket not too long ago. And I used a 3-weight yarn. The yarn I used for the blanket was the Caron Skinny Cakes. So it's a 3-weight yarn I used. And I thought that yarn would be perfect for tops. And I don't want to do, I figured DK weight is better than a worsted weight, especially if I'm making summer tops. Like, yeah, I'm in Southern Ontario. We don't get like super, super hot summers. But we do get times where it's over 30 degrees Celsius. So for Fahrenheit, that would be 60 plus 32, 92 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's pretty warm when you calculate it and stuff. So I thought 3-weight DK weight yarn, perfect weight to make tops. And I, like I said, had this top flagged for a significant amount of time. I thought, perfect, I'm going to make the top. So when I had some PayPal saved up, because unfortunately here in Southern Ontario for the Caron Skinny Cakes, before taxes and everything at Michael's, and before coupons or anything like that, it's $14.99, and then you add your taxes. You're looking at almost $20. I refuse to pay that amount of price for a Caron cake. And the worst thing is, the Caron Skinny Cakes for a 3-weight has the most yardage. So for the value, for how much you're paying for it, it's the best deal. But even if you look at the Caron, like chunky cakes that are, only a couple hundred yards compared to almost 800 yards, they're still the same price. All our Caron cakes are the same prices, except for the party ones that are those really, really big cakes, or those anniversary cakes, or birthday cakes, or whatever exactly they're called. I know they're like super, super big. And like those ones are like, I think almost $40 for us. So I only buy my Caron Skinny Cakes when I get them on sale or on with coupons. And I always wait to have a 40% coupon from Michael's, and then I'll order it online in-store pickup. Now, unfortunately, here in Southern Ontario, you do it that way. You don't use the coupon once per day. So I usually, over 2 or 3 days, will put orders in and then go all at once and pick up all 2 or 3 orders, depending on what I put in. So I picked out the Caron Skinny Cake in the colorway Grape, because I do love purple. It's always been my favorite color as far back as I can remember. And my wedding colors for my husband and I wedding was purple and silver. So I thought, okay, I'm going to go with the grape. Now you're probably sitting there thinking, Tammy, how's your top doing? Yeah, I tore it out again. This is tear out number 3 now. Now, I'm getting a little frustrated, deteriorated, or defeated. I don't know exactly what it is. I know Crystal in her video for this top, she uses a worsted weight yarn with a bigger hook. I do know she mentions that the model form she's putting it on is supposed to be a plus size form, although she says in the video it's kind of a little on the smaller side. So when I attempted this top attempt 1, because like I said, I'm using a smaller weight yarn, I'm using a smaller hook, I'm a bigger size plus woman, I kind of went more stitches than what Crystal started with. And I got to the point where I had the armholes put in, and I think 1 or 2 rounds on the bust, and literally instead of it sitting, the collar sitting here, they sat down here, like on each side. So a major off-the-shoulder shirt. Not a big deal. I could have easily added straps. that was not the problem. The problem was the bust was like very, very thick with fabric. And I thought, okay, that's way too much yarn, like fabric there. It's heavy. It's very ripply. It's thick looking and very bulky on me. I thought, nope, let's tear it out. Attempt number 2. So I took out 4 chevrons the first attempt, or 6. I can't remember. I think I took out 6 chevrons the first attempt, which then made it so the collar kind of sat here, like on the shoulders, but close to the edge. And again, I got past the armholes. I got a couple rows done on the bust. Tried it on again. I thought, oh, this seems a little better. Continued on. Did the whole cake, and I've got 2 cakes, by the way. This is all cake 1. And the reason it's in 2 balls is because it had to be cut when I was using it the first time around because there was a really nasty knot in it I could not get out. Or it's where the tie-on was, maybe. I don't remember which. Anyhow, I used the whole cake, thinking, maybe I found the sweet spot. I went and tried it on before I joined cake 2. And again, too much fabric in the bust, too much fabric around the waist. I thought, this isn't going to work. So I ripped it out a second time. And then I thought, okay, let's take out 4 more chevrons. Because I honestly thought any more than that, and it's going to be not enough for the neck area and to go over my head. And I do have a bit of a larger head. Like I've mentioned it when I've made different toques. My head's on a little bit larger size. Like my husband's baseball cap will not fit on my head. So I know I've got a bigger head circumference than him. I'm a big-headed woman. So I thought, okay. So I took out 4 chevrons, I think, the second attempt. And I worked it up. It fit nice on the collarbone area, like on both my collarbones. Sat a really nice spot. It wasn't tight on the neck. It didn't hang. Now, mind you, because I took out so many chevrons from each valley. So you got your valley, your peak, and then your valley. There had to be more stitches between the peak or the valley and the peak because there's less chevrons. So you had to put more in it to make it a little longer so it would fit under the armhole, which meant more rows around. Like, no big deal. I got going on it, got the armholes in again, got a few rounds on the bust done, tried it on, and I thought, this feels good. Like, this feels really, really good. It sat where I liked it. The armholes at the time didn't seem like super big or loosey-goosey or anything like that kind of thing. The body felt like it was going to be good. So I went ahead and did up both cakes, or the full cake, and I joined on the second cake. I should have tried it on before then, and yeah, I didn't, because I really thought I found my sweet spot. Joined on the second cake, and last week when I showed it to you guys, I was almost done. I thought I'm almost at a point where I could probably hit my hips where I want to hit. This morning I added on 2 more rounds because I did not want to end on the lighter white colors. I wanted at least 1 round, if not 2, of the actual purples and all that kind of fuchsias and whatever funky colors that are in, this beautiful cake of yarn I've got, and the pinks and such. So I did a couple rounds beyond the white, and I thought, okay, this looks like it's a good length. It was kind of starting to feel on the heavy side. Let's go try it on. I'm standing in the bathroom looking at myself in the mirror. Of course, it's only a vanity mirror, so you can only see so much. I've got a long mirror on my closet door, on the outside of my closet door in my bedroom. So I thought, okay, quietly sneak in because hubby's sleeping because he's got to get up in about a half an hour to go to work. So I thought, okay, go in quickly, stand in front of that mirror and have a look. It hits the hips perfectly. It's still way too much fabric. Way too much. Even the arms feel really loose, and I feel like I can put both arms in one hole. And I'm like, okay, gotta rip it out a third time. Now, I thought, okay, if I take out another 6, like I know Crystal's, for example, I think she starts with 90-something stitches. 92, 94, 96, maybe 98. I know it's in the 90s somewhere. And I thought, okay, well, this last attempt I had, that I just ripped out, I had 72 stitches. So I thought, if I take out 6 more chevrons, because I want to take out even amount, so the armhole, the amount of chevrons that are in the arms, and it will join the way I want it to. I gotta do it by even numbers. I'd be starting with a count of 48 stitches. I'm thinking I'm gonna attempt it to maybe do 2-3 rounds and see if it fits over my big head and how it sits on my collarbone and if it's not too tight around the neck. But when I was looking at the third attempt, the striping, again, being a plus size woman, horizontal stripes, not a good choice. So I'm actually thinking I'm not going to attempt number 4 with this yarn and that pattern. I am going to either go looking for, well, one of the reasons I really like this pattern, other than the fact it's chevron, is it was a solid material. So I could wear just a bra underneath it, and I didn't have to put on a tank top underneath, which was kind of the process I was going for, kind of thing. I'm like, if I can eliminate, that extra layer, if I'm going to wear a tank top, I will just wear a tank top. Why throw on an extra layer, right? So it was more of a solid material. I still plan on making said top. I'm thinking I'm going to have to go spend some time just walking around Michael's or around Len's Mills. I don't know, probably Michael's, because like I said, I get pretty good coupons for them. And really go around and touchy-feely and make notes in a notebook of the yarn and the weight and the yardage and so on like that. And the cost before taxes. And then kind of figure out what the best yarn would be to use. Kind of, like I said, I know Crystal used a worsted weight yarn like a Burnett, or I actually used a Red Heart Super Saver value type yarn. So I could easily use the Burnett, or I wouldn't use the loops and threads from Michael's because it is a little more on the plump side, so it's a little thicker. But even to use a Burnett yarn, which I'm making that one blanket I'm making for my head to toes project, seems a little too thick still, even for a top, like a solid top. If I was making like a cardigan or a sweater or something, then yeah, I'd go that way of yarn. But because I want to make a summer top, I thought a 3-weight yarn would work. And I was really looking forward to it. So I'm gonna hold on to this yarn. I'm not gonna give up on that pattern. I just need to do some, scouting out and figure out what other yarns to use other than a striping yarn. I've got to do it in a solid, I think, color, and maybe occasionally throw in like the odd stripe here and then like every so many rounds throw in a stripe or something. So that's going to be a put on hold project till I can have a chance to go and sit and figure it out, and cost-wise, figure out what the best deal is for me and all that fun stuff. So I've got 2 cakes of this yarn. I don't know when I'm going to get around to getting the yarn to try and make Crystal's top at a later date, but I want to have a top on the go. So that means I got to go today, go searching for a new top. I'm thinking, with it being a stripy yarn, if I'm doing like a top, like a tank top style, that's kind of on the holy side because it's got like shell stitch and different things like that, it might look okay, and it may not look so stripy and big on me. Or I could maybe look with this yarn, because like I said, I got 2 cakes and they're almost 800 yards per cake. There's 795 yards, so 1,590 yards. That's a lot of yardage. I could probably easily find a cardigan and have it so the stripes go vertical, and that might work. Or go find a stitch I like, because I haven't done any of my projects yet for my entries for Crafting Kitty Creator Spotlight for the month of December. I know there's a washcloth pattern she does that I kind of like, and I was going to do 2 of those. I was going to originally do 3, But I may do 2 of those with those up today. Although tomorrow will be my whip day, so maybe leave that till tomorrow. But then go and look at some of the pattern or stitch count she's got, because she does Tunisian, and maybe do a Tunisian cardigan of some kind with this yarn. And then I don't know, because I don't know if I'll have enough then to do the sleeves as well. I'll have to go check out our Creator Spotlight this month, because I know she does a lot of Tunisian stitch work. So I have to go see if she's got something that will be done in the vertical and can be altered to a plus size. And attempt to make that, even though originally I want to make summer tops, not sweaters and cardigans. Yes, I've made one in the past. But I'm thinking for this yarn, it's got to be vertical stripes, not horizontal stripes. Lesson learned. I already knew horizontal stripes are not right for a plus size person. I just really wanted to kind of make that chevron pattern. I thought, well, yeah, they're vertical stripes, but they're chevrons, so they're not just straight verticals kind of thing, like there's the peaks and the valleys. So I thought it would be okay. And the answer to that is no. So yeah, top's not going to be like scratched. I will have a top hopefully on the go next week. But for today, I'm just showing you that, yeah, it's a do-over. I gotta now go research, see what I can find, see if the creator for this month has a top or a cardigan or something that I like. Like I could easily, I know she's got shawls. I could easily do a shawl. But I don't use my shawls that I have already. And when the different ones I've made that I've tried to sell, they don't sell very well. And I've got a couple of really beautiful shawls. So if I really want a shawl, I can pull out one of the ones I already have. I've even won actually a couple from Erin over at Crafting Kitty Creator Spotlight 2 different times. Well, last year I think it was I won from her. Last year or the year before. And they were shawls. So I have lots of shawls. I don't want to put 2 cakes into a shawl. Now, yes, because I did the Sophie's Universe in this yarn. And if you guys want to check out how that turned out, go look for my Sophie's Universe blankets. I do have different videos for it. And I could do another, hold on to this and do my next mandala blanket in this and just have a smaller baby-sized mandala blanket. But I don't want to do that either. I just did a huge one kind of thing, right? So, I don't know. I'm just like, I know, I understand that, there are yarns that are meant more for knitting. There are some yarns that are better off crocheted with. I know there's some yarns that work out great on the Addy or the loom. And then there's some yarns you absolutely would not use. I know there's certain yarns that you absolutely want to use for kitchen washcloths, or a specific type of yarn you want to use for socks and stuff like that. And I'm sitting there thinking, if this yarn was a solid yarn, would it work better for that top for me? But yeah, I'm thinking I gotta find a pattern that's vertical stripes instead of horizontal. It may end up being a cardigan with maybe cap sleeves or something. I don't know yet on that. Or I'll have to figure out some sleeves and then just do a double crochet or something and gradually work both at the same time and gradually do the decreasing so, it looks okay on me and stuff. But yeah, so I don't have a top for you guys this week. I am so sorry about that. I do hopefully this afternoon we'll be able to find something and get something on the go so that come next Tuesday, I'll have something to show you guys. But as of right now, no top. If you guys know of a good pattern that you think this would work up well for, I've done a couple different tank tops that are kind of like shelly, holy type thing. But again, like I said, you gotta wear a tank top underneath it, and I kind of didn't want to go that route. So, but if I have to, because it may work up better with this yarn for me and look better and not look so stripy and wide, then maybe that's the route I gotta go with. So I gotta go do some search and rescue kind of thing for a pattern. But yeah, if you guys know of any patterns that you think might look okay on me or work well with this yarn, please let me know. And if you guys wouldn't mind, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, maybe a quick comment. I'd really appreciate that. If you're new to my channel and you like what you saw today, even though it wasn't much, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button and turn on all notifications. With me, you never know what will come out one day to the next. So, guys, thanks for listening. If by any fingers crossed chance I find a top within the next hour or two and I really get going to town on it, I may put out a second video later this evening. But as of right now, no. Now, I will have a video hopefully tomorrow for you for that washcloth I was talking about. I've got a couple cotton yarn. Now, it's a thinner cotton. It works great for washcloths, but not so much dishcloths because it is on the thinner side. But it can be done as dishcloths too. And it's a Tunisian stitch that I saw, and it's kind of like, quick spoiler, I guess. I don't know for those who crochet and knit. Well, those who knit will know these dishcloths for sure because they've been around for years. But you start out with like 3 stitches and you slowly increase and then you slowly decrease. So you do them in a diamond shape instead of a square. Well, I found a video for the Creator Spotlight for this month who does a similar idea, but it's a Tunisian stitch where you start out with a few and you increase to a certain point and you decrease to a certain amount and then you finish off. So I'm thinking about making those dishcloths just because, or washcloths. I think those look kind of fun and cute, and I think once I get going on it, it's kind of can sit and watch a video and work on. So hopefully I'll have those for you tomorrow. At least one started. So anyways, guys, I've had you long enough. Thanks for listening. Have a great day and keep an eye out. You never know when I'll have my next video. Bye for now.